Alright guys, what's up? This is Zekis here with a video on how to defeat Sigryn. It's the Retribution Paladin Artifact Challenge. Alright, this is my very first video. I plan on coming out with a bunch of videos in the future, and I'll be live streaming on Twitch. Alright, so let's get into it. Alright, so there's a bunch of different talents you guys are going to need to do for this challenge. Alright, the first one is your tier 15 talent. Alright, you're going to want to take Final Verdict. Alright, it's the best one, and it's the easiest one to use, and you'll probably do the most DPS with it. Alright, so the next one is the tier 30. You'll be using Fires of Justice. Alright, Zeal and Greater Judgment just don't work out well with the fight. You'll end up breaking your Repentance and you will end up wiping from it. So you don't want to take any of those other ones. Take Fires of Justice. Next one you're going to want to take, you're going to want to take Repentance. Alright, you're going to need to use Repentance and incapacitate the Sigryn boss. So after that you're going to want to take Blade of Wrath. Alright, Blade of Wrath is single target. I mean, you can use Virtue's Blade, but Blade of Wrath performs better, and overall you'll do more damage. Divine Hammer will end up breaking Repentance. Again, you'll end up dying from it. Alright, Justicard's Vengeance is the next one, tier 75 talent. Alright, most of your healing will be from Justicard's Vengeance. Alright, it requires 5 holy power to use. You'll use all 5 of it if you're capped, and you'll get a lot of healing from it. It's very important you use it. Second to last one is the most important one. Alright, it's Divine Intervention. Alright, now Divine Intervention sometimes can literally just save you. It did on my kill, which you guys are about to see. Sometimes you can have 4 or 5 different mechanics going on and you can't do them all at the same time, so Divine Intervention is required, I would almost say. If you're tier 100 talent, you're going to want to use Crusade. You'll do the most DPS with it simply, and Holy Wrath just isn't all that great. I don't recommend it. Divine Purpose is good for survivability reasons, like if you're at lower item level or you simply just aren't that great at DPS. I don't know. But I highly suggest Crusade, especially if you have the legendary belt. Now, for gearing, it's pretty easy. You don't need to be a super high item level. I mean, I'm not item level 920. I'd say this is doable by most people if you're like 920, roughly. But remember, this fight isn't a DPS race. It's all mechanics. You can get one shot pretty easily from these mechanics. If not, you'll lose like 90% of your health. I suggest you, for trinkets, you take stat sticks, because other trinkets like the Spectre Betrayal, they may break Repentance. Any damage caused to a target that is incapacitated by Repentance will cancel it, and you can wipe from it. So you don't want to use any used trinkets unless it's like a single target one, like Faulty Countermeasures or something like that, or like Convergence of Fates. You can use that if you want, but I wouldn't use any, like Umbral Glaive Storm. I wouldn't use that. For legendaries, like I said, the ring is really good. Other than that, the belt's probably the best, to be honest. So that's gearing and talents. So this is what the fight's gonna look like right here. You're gonna see Sigryn in the middle, and to the left you're gonna see the Jarl, and to the right of Sigryn you're gonna see the Runeseeker. All right, now these 3 bosses, they each have some unique mechanics. Right, they're pretty hard to do. Most of them will one-shot you because this is a very difficult challenge. All right, this fight will take you about 7 to 8 minutes, depending on how much DPS you do. Remember, it's not a DPS race. Now, Sigryn, what she does is she casts his demon form, and she pretty much just kills you within like 5 seconds. Yeah, if you have Divine Intervention, you'll live, but you need to be able to stop it more than once, which is why we have Repentance. You just pull her to the back of the room, Repentance her, and every time she goes to do her cast, just Repentance her again, and you won't have to worry about her. And also, you want to keep these other 2 guys away while you're DPSing them down so that you don't break through Repentance. Alright? So the Runeseeker, the guy to the right of Sigryn, alright, he casts his bubble on him, and he casts this thing called Ancestral Knowledge. Now, Ancestral Knowledge, if it goes off, you will die. You need to interrupt it. The way to do that is you take out the bubble. That's about 4 million damage added onto his hit points, and after the bubble's gone, you can interrupt them. And then, boom, you're done with that mechanic. Now, the Jarl, alright, he's probably the most annoying mob. I had the most trouble dealing with the Jarl, even though he doesn't have any one-shot mechanics, like Sigryn or the Runeseeker. Now, what he does is, he enrages. He turns red, you can tell from a mile away, he goes super huge, and he starts trying to beat your face off, alright? Now, what you gotta do is, when you start the fight, you're gonna wanna pull the Runeseeker, alright, towards the back of the room. Now, to do that, the Runeseeker doesn't really follow too well. You need to kind of go slow at first, alright? You'll probably get about halfway through the room before the Jarl starts really trying to eat your face off. So what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to use Hand of Hindrance, and you're going to want to slow him down. Alright, he usually is enraged for about 25 seconds or so. So you want to make sure he doesn't hit you, or else you're going to die pretty quickly. It's not instant. Usually takes about 10 to 15 seconds if he's enraged to really take out your health significantly. So if once he gets to you, it will be inevitable, it will happen. You're going to want to stun him with your Hammer of Justice. Alright, now, if you're using just Descartes Vengeance, like I suggest use it. You'll gain a lot of healing off it, a lot of damage as well. And usually by then, the first set of runes pop up. Now, these runes are these purple or blue, I can't tell because I'm colorblind, things that pop up on the floor in various sizes, alright? They can be big, they can be small. Now, you're going to want to get the small ones first, because if they grow small and they disappear, you will die because it'll do some weird detonation type thing and it'll take out all your health. Another one of the one-shot mechanics in here. So you're going to want to walk on all three of the runes, they'll puff away or whatever they do, and you can go back to DPSing on whatever guy you're planning on attacking, alright? So, that's that. So, now I'm going to show you the video here. What I did was, I set Sigryn to my focus, and I just marked the other two guys, the Jarl and the Runeseeker, just so I could find them easier. It's more organization for me. I suggest you guys do the same. It made it a lot easier, let me tell you. So when I started the fight, I pulled Sigryn to the back, like I said, and I just repentanced her. You'll see here. Notice how I didn't use my charge to get to the Jarl. That's because I usually use that to get out of the way if I need to. I kind of use that as like a fail-safe type thing to get out of the way. Now to move the Runeseeker, you need to interrupt it. So first cast he's always casting something. You can just interrupt it. He doesn't really do too much damage unless he gets his main bubble cast off. So right here you can see the Jarl. Alright, he just enraged. I used hand hindrance on him. He's going slow. I'm kind of inching back a little bit. Still doing some good DPS to the Runeseeker, I mean. And stun the Jarl. Run away. I got away from him. You see this little orangey yellow thing on the ground? Pick that up. Those will heal you. Those are really awesome. Alright, if you have all three of the guys attacking you, sometimes you will, you'll need those health globs to live. Alright? Now, I pulled these guys together and I started DPSing them. Runes popped up again. I got the smallest one first, and then I kind of just grabbed them because I knew it would be quick. Now, Sigryn started to do her demon form thing, tried to repentance her. She was already repentanced, kind of forgot about that one. Not a big problem, but now I'm trying to pull these two guys together so I can get some nice cleave damage going. It's just not working. Alright, there we go. Alright, so in a second here, the Runeseeker will be doing the bubble thing. Darn. Scratch that. Alright, so repentance is worn off of Sigryn, and now I'm doing damage to Runeseeker, breaking his shield, broke his shield, I interrupted him, now I'm doing DPS back on all three of them. Now these health globs are going to be my best friend, healing me for a lot of damage I take, along with just Descartes Vengeance. You really got to monitor your health on these. It becomes very difficult to do, but with all the mechanics you have to do, right here, you have these Dark Valkyr. Alright, they line up and they have a gap in between them. You gotta get in that gap. If you don't, you'll die. One shot. Now, what the Jarl just did right there was he cast like a Blade Storm. Alright, now, to stop that Blade Storm, all you have to do is use your Hammer of Justice. And it'll be stunned and it'll stop casting Blade Storm, even after the stun wears off. So, right now I'm getting these runes. And if you look at that placement right there, I had some pretty nice timing. The rune was right in the gap of the Dark Valkyr and it didn't kill me. If it did kill me, I would have had my Divine Intervention right then and there, but... Now notice how my Divine Storm was not hitting Sigryn. If it hit Sigryn, she would have broken out of her repentance. Now right now, she's not in her demon form, so she wouldn't have destroyed me, but it just would have added another person on for me to worry about, and I would have maybe died, who knows. Valkyr popped up again, get in the gap, don't die. Keep doing some DPS on these guys. Right now it's pretty chill. Not too bad. About halfway or 75% of the way through this fight, it becomes increasingly easier, believe it or not. Because these runes eventually stop popping up on the ground, the Jarl eventually stops raging and doing his whirlwind, and you really only have to deal with the Runeseeker's casts and the Dark Valkyr, and finding that opening spot. So, running all the runes. That one almost detonated, believe it or not. They don't have to completely go away to detonate. So just be mindful of that. Runes up again. Remember, it's more important to get these runes than to do damage. Now right here is a really tough spot. Dark Valkyr popped up, he started doing a whirlwind, and Sigryn started becoming a demon. So that's why Divine Intervention is such an important talent, because I was able to live and defeat Sigryn. If I didn't have Divine Intervention, I would have lost. I would have had to retry, and I would have been even more annoyed than I was. So if I were to break the Repentance right now, I would have wiped because Sigryn's still a demon now. She just got out of her demon form, which is pretty nice. So if I did break Repentance, I wouldn't die. Now right now, my Hammer of Justice is on cooldown, so I'm not able to stun him during his Blade Storm. If your Hammer of Justice is on cooldown, just run out of the Blade Storm. You can use your charge or just simply walk out like I just did on that one. Now Dark Valkyr up, gotta find the gap, get through there. Just doing some normal DPS here. Runeseeker has his cast up, gotta get rid of that, and break his, or interrupt him. Boom, interrupted. Now those fell puddles on the floor can be pretty annoying. So you just don't want to have to stand on them if you don't have to. Over time they will do a lot of damage to you. So now I have all three on me again, so keep myself alive is getting pretty difficult. Valkyr up, gotta find the gap while DPSing. So right here is a pretty tricky spot. Got all this fell stuff, I have no choice but to walk in it. Now, it's more important I walk in that than getting hit by those Dark Valkyr, because this fell puddle stuff, it isn't a one-shot mechanic. Now right here I almost died, but I used my Lay on Hands. You want to save that for a time you're in a really tough spot. Alright, you don't want to just use it when you're at half health like I am right now. All I did was I ran away from these guys real quick. Got through the gap, and then I instantly just Car's Vengeance, get some health, pop Crusade, so I'm able to heal a little bit easier. And I start doing all this damage. Use Just Car's Vengeance again. Get myself with the health again, and then I have to break his cast again for his bubble and then interrupt him. I'm already at low health again. Pop a Shield of Vengeance. Found the gap. Now right here, I make a huge push to finish Sigryn off. She's at like 25% health. The fight ends when she hits 20% health, so the fight's over then, so you don't need to worry about completely killing her. So right here, she stops, and that's when I got it. So if you like this video, guys, please like and subscribe. I'll be coming out with a bunch of videos in the near future. I'll be on Twitch, live streaming, and I'm just going to let this dialogue play. I will have a macro to target Sigryn if she's just set to your focus in the description. And I'm just going to let this dialogue play so you guys can kind of see how it ends up. Alright, I suggest not leaving as soon as you kill Sigryn, because you gotta hear all this mumbo-jumbo from a year, and you need to get the quest from Sigryn after defeating her. So this is Zekis Gone Rogue, signing out.